Okay, now mostly rounding numbers is easy. Okay, it's very much like what you've done in math, but there's just a couple little tweaks for chemistry. And if I look like I'm looking for something, I've misplaced my glove, but that's okay. We'll just pretend I have a glove today. And hopefully my hand won't make too many glitches on the screen. All right, so here are the rounding rules. If you want to round to the number that is in the box, so say, for example, we are rounding to the thousands position, then you look at the number to the right and you say, is it greater than 5 or is it less than greater than or equal to 5, or is it less than 5? It is greater than 5, so you would round up, okay? So that would give us a 9. Here we have a 1. Let's round to the thousands position. We look to the right. That is less than 5, so you can say you keep it the same, or you can say you round down, so it's 1,000. The next one I want to draw your attention to, because sometimes people will look at this and they will say, oh, look at that. That rounds to a 5, which means that rounds to a 3, and that would be wrong. Well, you can't double round, okay? So let's imagine that we have a number line, okay? Let's do a number line. And I've got 5 in the middle, yes? And I've got 10 up here, and I've got 0 down here. This is halfway, yes?
Yeah.
Where is 4.5? 4.5 is less than halfway. So you're going to have to round down. Okay? So in this case, we have the 2, we look to the 4, we ignore the 5, we don't care about it because it's somewhere else, okay? And we say that is less than 5, so we round to the 2, okay? We have a 3 here, and so that would round up to the 4, and we have less than 5 here, so that would be, and this is where the overbar comes in again, is we have 400,000. If we are rounding to this digit, that is going to be our last sig fig. Okay, that is our last sig fig. So either you put the overbar on it, or how else could you write that number to indicate that it has 3 sig figs? You could write it as 4.00 times 10 to the 5. Okay, which would give you 3 sig figs, because this has 3 sig figs. Never, never, never double round. So if you're rounding 749, you only look at the 4 beside it. You totally ignore that 9, and so it becomes 700. So do not round this to 800. That is just wrong. And it is because that 749 is closer to 700 than it is to 800. That's not mental gymnastics, it's just closer.
Not this part where you said, oh, we'll look at the 4 and the 5.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why people do things, but they do.
Mental gymnastics.
Mental gymnastics. Yes, there's many mental gymnastics. Now, if you have 7.5, it is exactly halfway in between. And if you go on to study chemistry at university, you'll learn that you round up half the time and down half the time. But we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to round up. Okay? So if you're at exactly halfway, you will round up. Now, do not just cut off the number. All right? So say it says round, and the more usual way of saying this would be round to 3 sig figs. Okay? If we round to 3 sig figs, that means we are rounding to that 3 there. 1, 2, 3. we look to the right and we say, oh, that's going to round up. So it will be, oh, that should be a 4. Sorry. That's a typo. I need to fix that. Fix. That's a 4, but sometimes people will be like, round to 3 sig figs, and they will round it to 334. And again, I don't know why, right? You cannot take 333,000 and round it to 334. It doesn't work. It's not the same number at all, even close, not even close. But it happens all the time. So another thing I would really prefer, because when we round things, they are no longer equal. If you are rounding off, rather than saying 749 is equal to 700, if we're rounding to 1 digit, I would rather you use an arrow instead, please. I will take off a half a mark if you don't. Okay, so use an arrow instead. We are rounding. We're not making it equal because they don't equal. Yes?
So for example, if you would do 333,878, say you asked and the question's around 4 sig figs.
Yeah.
Instead, we would put an over the 0.
Yeah, so if we had that 300, you wanted the 8 there?
I wanted, so the same number, just 4 sig figs.
Okay, so that would become 330. Sorry, that pen does crazy things every once in a while. 333,900.
No, I mean the same number, 334,000. I mean 334. Yeah, the same number. But an overbar with 0 and 4.
Yes, but I wouldn't be using this number. I couldn't use this number to get to this.
But say you asked for 4 sig figs.
If I asked for 4 sig figs in the question, I would get this.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah?
No overbar.
No overbar. No. Okay, the other way you could do it, if you prefer, is you could say 749, you could say is approximately equal to 700. You could use that. But I kind of like the arrow better because it shows it's kind of more like it's just rounding. Rounding to a certain number of sig figs. If we wanted to round this number to 2 sig figs, this is kind of like what you were asking, Delcine. And this is where it might be different from things you've seen in math. So this is the example you should pay attention to. To 2 sig figs, that would be 1, 2. We're going to look to the right. That's going to round up. That's going to give us 50,000. Yes? But if we need to have 2 sig figs, does this number have 2 sig figs? No. So you either have to put that overbar there and say, yes, now we have 2 sig figs, or say 5.0 times 10 to the 4. Okay, so just watch out for that. Okay. Round this number to 3 sig figs. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we look to the right, that is a 4. So we will get 83000. But we were asked to round to 3 sig figs. Does this number have 3 sig figs? No. How can we give that number 3 sig figs? Yes. Put the overbar or scientific notation. 8.30 times 10 to the 4. Either way is good. Okay. There's a few little practice problems here. So why don't you guys do those? And then I'll think about what I want to do with you next. Okay.
You're saying university You think in university they do with the numbers like exactly like the halfway point?
They'll round to the even number. Because that'll give you exactly half the time rounding up and half the time rounding down. Like, so you would, if you were at 5.15,
Yeah.
would round to 5.2. But 5.25 would also round to 5.2.
Oh, they round to the closest even number.
Closest even number. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And if you had 5.05, that would round to 5.0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so unlike second to the whole number, that would round to 800.
Yeah.
If you get a number like 650.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And it's not actually that hard, but I just find there's like so many details in the number anyway. Like nobody seems to care anymore. Like the AP exam doesn't care how you round, so I'm like, well, if they don't care, then I don't care. So
Oh yeah. It's
yeah.
Big deal, I guess. I feel very, it is kind of a big deal though.
It is if you're doing like a lot of research. Like if you always round up, then you're going to have data that skews high,
Yeah.
right? In the short term, it's not a big deal, but if you're doing like long term stuff, it matters. Yeah. Hold on, you got it. Oh, no, you want to round to that digit there. So you'll need to have 1 for yeah. So yeah.
You're so busy.
No.
That's great. So bad.
This one. This. Lots of words stand out for. Yes, I could go this one. Because we want to have 2 digits. This is probably 2 digits. This one looks good. This one. Yes, Just so real. Yeah. Yeah. You don't. You can only need 2 digits. I didn't
Oh, did you watch the boy? Yes.
Oh, go around into that one.
I watched it. I got mad. And I wanted Kansas to win.
On this. Yeah. I'll this part, if you want, you can sort of take a look at that.
It's so good. You're so good.
No, so you want one.
I want that again, 750. No, it's too standard. I love to be on it.
Yeah. So we're just down that one. Yep. Because normally what I would say instead of there's no answer key. Oh, we don't have a, oh no, this one has. Oh, look, and it even says, answer the workbook on it. Yeah. I think I may have answered this question before. Yes. It doesn't matter, like what I would do, I usually use the calculator and then I just take that number and subtract that number. And then you would say your constant. Yeah. Absolutely. What am I doing after school today? Oh,
It has practice.
huh?
I like to think you have a defense practice.
Well, because it's actually harder than multiplication and division.
It's not, well, for a single.
Yeah. Yes. So survive, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. So I would say homework tonight. Let's see. There you go. Yeah. Got it. Oh, I didn't. How many of you have done your flashcards or vocab list or whatever at this point? None of you. Okay, there's like a whole page on the test on that. So I'm going to put that on, like, work on your vocab list.
So like
solute, solvent, solution, homogeneous, heterogeneous, ionic compound, covalent compound, ionic bond, covalent bond, intermolecular forces.
Oh no, that one too? Okay.
Why not? Molecule.
Wait, are you recording this lesson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't I write them down? That would be even better, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Oh, great.
I can also throw this up on Teams, right? Ooh, crystal lattice. Ionic compound, covalent compound, intermolecular forces. Covalent bond, ionic bond. You know what would actually work really well for this is if you did kind of like a little mind map thing, right? Like I feel this would lend itself really well to a mind map and like drawing pictures of things too. Pictures and mind map. Feel free to take a picture of that if you want to. I'll post it up on Teams. You can do flashcards, you can do pictures and mind map, you can do whatever you want to. Just make sure that you know those words because there's not going to be a quiz on them, but they will be on the test on Friday. Okay? Oh, also, some people are slow test writers. Yes? If you are a slow test writer and you feel you may need more time to complete the test, you can come in at 12 during lunchtime and start early if you want to. Yes, because we don't have like a nice, like at the block 8 can stay after school, right? But you guys, if you want to come in at 12 and start early, you may. Optional. But if you get to the end of the class and you did not come in early, I will just be like, I'm taking your test paper anyway, and you are just done. Yes? So, make a choice. Everyone is done at whatever time the bell goes. How you doing, Jacob? Yeah? Tired?
Yeah.
I understand. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's good. Did I teach a brother of yours, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
Josh, was it? Yeah.
Really liked you.
Oh, good. Well, that's nice to know.
Yeah.
I try to be useful. Whether I succeed or not always guaranteed, but I try. What's that?
Well, now you can free talk.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you looking at it? Yes. You did, right? I didn't. No, I was not going to answer.
Yes. Yeah.
We need to stop going with them. Yeah, it's like you're a deck. Well, I know what you low chart, exactly. You want low chart. I got it. Still some paper.